Welcome back to Pennies and Salt. Today I am sharing with you some quick little crock pot, slow cooker, whatever you want to call it, recipes. Some are dump and go, some take just a tiny bit of effort, but they are still super easy. This actually is a collaboration with several other channels, but our host is Erica Lucas. Make sure to check out the playlist below for some awesome recipes for dump and go crock pot things, especially this season. I know it's so good to have just like an arsenal full of just crock pot dump and go meals that I can do that take very little effort to feed my family of 8. So, like I was saying, Erica is our host. There are several other channels involved, so make sure that you click on that playlist down below to see some of the other great recipes, and make sure to check out all the other channels as well, and hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you with us on future videos as well. Here at Pennies and Salt, our focus is, I always say, we're homemaking, homeschooling, and large family collide. So all things meal planning, large family logistical kind of things, homeschooling, just a plethora of things that have to do with life. So we would love to have you here. So today I am going to start by sharing a crock pot French toast casserole with you. And so you are going to start with a loaf of French bread. Now, a lot of times I actually use a French bread recipe from Big Family Homestead, which is another great channel to check out. But today I'm taking the easy route, and so I just picked this up from Kroger's Bakery. But you're going to need 1 loaf of French bread, 6 eggs, 2 cups of milk, 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, a 1/4 cup of butter that is softened, a 1/2 cup of brown sugar, and a 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. Now, mine is going to be a little bit different today. I'm actually using vanilla almond milk, so I am not going to add that extra vanilla because it's already going to be in my milk. So those are the ingredients, and the recipes will be down in the description box below. So make sure you check those out if you want more detailed descriptions. So I've got my bread ready here, and next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eggs and my vanilla, like I said, I'm using vanilla almond milk, but I'm going to take my milk, and if you are using vanilla, use that. Also my cinnamon, and did I say my eggs? I can't remember. Anyway, so I'm going to combine those things in this bowl and whisk them up really good. And then I'm going to pour it over my bread. to cover the mixture and put it in the fridge. Now we're going to mix together the butter and the brown sugar, and we're going to cover it as well and put it in the fridge for at least 4-ish hours or overnight until you're ready to put it together to cook. Alright, so now that my bread has soaked in my mixture for a good long time, I am going to pour it into my crock pot over there, and I'm going to cook it on high for 2 hours. However, we are not done once we dump this in. I kind of smoothed everything around, and so now my butter mixture has hardened because it's been in the fridge, and I'm just going to take this and crumble it all over the top. Then I'm going to set it on high and let it cook for 2 hours. You can cook it on low for 4 hours, but if you're waking up earlier than your kids and you want to have this ready for breakfast, I would do it on high for 2 hours. Alright, so it is done and it looks amazing. It's still bubbling, it's super, super hot, so we're going to let it cool for about 15 minutes or so, but I can't wait to enjoy it. Okay, so this is a super, super easy taco soup. In here, I already have a pound of ground deer meat because my stepdad brought us back half a deer from hunting. So super excited about that. So we're using deer meat that is already cooked, obviously. You can use chicken or you can use beef, any meat that you want to. You could use turkey. Then I'm going to use a big can of diced tomatoes. I chose a tri-blend instead of just kidney beans. Then a can of pinto beans, a can of Rotel, which this is the Aldi version, the equivalent of 1 package of taco seasoning, the equivalent of 1 package of ranch dip, and I don't buy ranch dip. This is actually a mixture. It's wonderful, makes the best ranch that I've ever made from a mix. It's from Kate at Venison for Dinner, and I will put a link to it down in the description, so make sure to check that out. But just 2 tablespoons of this, and then I'm using a bag of frozen corn, and that's all you're going to put in, and you're just going to let it cook for a few hours in here and enjoy it. So before I put these in, you can leave the juices, I guess, in your beans. I personally don't ever use the juices in the beans. I always drain and rinse my beans. But that's just me. A lot of people, it's fine if you just want to dump the whole thing in there. But these, of course, you're going to dump straight in. So I'm going to do that real quick and then get it going. Alright, so this is what it looks like before I put the top on and it cooks. I did add about half a cup of water since I drained my beans and because I was using frozen corn instead of canned corn. So I'm going to let this cook on low for a few hours, and then I will show you what it looks like when it's done.
Honestly, this is like the 3rd time I've just tried to spoon chili or the taco soup into a bowl because I had a kid scream. I did it one time and it didn't look good. So I did it again, and Lily, in the middle of that, Lily picked up the bowl that I didn't finish and dumped it out over the floor. So if you're wondering why I'm videoing this instead of Megan, it's because she went to the ER to take our son, our youngest son, well, not our youngest son, but our middle son, Marcus, to the emergency room because he has a big cut on his head right there because he fell out of a tree while they were outside playing. So now I am trying to video this, and it is a train wreck. So that's why she usually does this, and I don't. So here we go. This is my 4th attempt to spoon taco soup into a bowl and show you what the finished product looks like. So let's hope this works. It probably won't, and it'll be terrible, and she'll probably not even use this video. And that will be that. So we'll see what happens. Take number 4, you just simply spoon the taco soup out, put it in said bowl without getting it everywhere. There that is. We're going to sprinkle a little cheese on there, like so. Just, that doesn't, there we go. Little cheese. Then we're going to get a little sour cream over here. Slowly and surely. Put that on top. Like so. And there's your final, that's what we finished with. And it's really good. It basically tastes like chili. That's why I called it chili earlier, I think, when I was making the video. But that's what I was trying to do. And I'm sure something crazy is going to happen in the next second. So that's it. It's set here until we're ready to eat. And then I'll just ladle it out, put that on there, and we're done. And that's all there is to it.
All right, so I'm going to share a recipe with you today for crock pot chicken casserole. Normally I would make this in a Pyrex dish in the oven, but today is kind of a jam-packed day and a lot of things need my attention. And so I'm just going to do this real quick in the crock pot. So I just defrosted some chicken breast, but I am going to put that in just a second. But the only things that you need is either chicken breast, or you could even use a rotisserie chicken shredded for this. But you just need some sort of meat. You could even use leftover turkey from Thanksgiving. So this is a good one to reuse your Thanksgiving turkey. So the other ingredients, it's a can of cream of chicken, a can of cream of mushroom, sour cream, and then the herb seasoned classic stuffing from Pepperidge Farm. I am a snob about this stuff. Like if I'm gonna use something packaged like this, it's gonna be that kind. It tastes a lot better than the other stuff. So anyway, oh, and you also will need you can use either water or milk. I'm using water for instead of milk today because we're out of milk. So yeah, that's a good reason. Anyway, so what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to dump this in. And yes, I know this is not the healthiest thing, and normally we eat healthy around here for the most part, but this is really a comfort food kind of thing for us. One of my kids is a little under the weather, and this is something that he requested. Just because he's, not feeling the greatest, and sometimes you just want comfort food. So I'm going to use a 1/3 cup of sour cream and a 1/3 cup of water, but like I said, you might want it creamier and use a 1/3 cup of milk. I am not going to put this in until much later, so hang on just a second and I will maneuver with 2 hands to do my sour cream and my water. So at this point, you're going to mix everything together, and then you're going to lay your chicken breasts in and close the lid for about 2 hours. At this point, at the 2-hour mark, you'll take your chicken breast out and you will shred it. I choose to shred it in my KitchenAid mixer because it just makes it easier, and it's super hot, so this just works great. Alright, so next up, you are going to get your stuffing ready to put on top. You can use chicken broth for this, but I chose to use water just to cut down on the amount of sodium. Trust me, there is plenty of flavor without the chicken broth. You're just going to use enough to wet it a little bit and then put it on the top. Alright, and it's all done and ready, and I will show you what everything looks like on the plate. So for dinner tonight, I also made garlic chopped potatoes and then some honey butter Brussels sprouts to go with it.
It even has bacon.
Yes, it does. And so that is dinner. So the next one is the super simple balsamic chicken recipe. And for this, you're only going to need some olive oil, 2 pounds of chicken breast, salt and pepper, a can of diced tomatoes, some balsamic vinegar, some garlic, which I take the easy route and buy the big thing of minced garlic from Costco, a bay leaf, some dried basil, a red onion, which I need to grab, and some mozzarella, but that comes at the end when you're ready to serve. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to drizzle your crock pot with some olive oil and lay your chicken breasts inside and sprinkle them with a little salt and pepper. Alright, so I've got my chicken in the crock pot sprinkled with salt and cracked pepper, and then I took half of a red onion and just sliced it and put the slices all over the top of the chicken. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to combine the rest of these ingredients, and then in this bowl I'm going to combine them, and then I'm going to pour it over the top of the chicken. So what you're going to need is, of course, 1 can of diced tomatoes, but you need half a cup of balsamic vinegar, 3 cloves of garlic minced, a bay leaf, 1 teaspoon of dried basil. Okay, and you're going to mix it all together and pour it over the top of your chicken in your crock pot. Right, so now that all ingredients were combined in the bowl, I poured it over my chicken. So I'm going to cover my chicken, and I am going to cook mine on high for about 2 hours, maybe a little bit less. I'll just have to check it, or you can do it on low for 4 to 5 hours, depending on what time frame you need it to cook. Alright, so this is the balsamic chicken. All I did was put some chicken in the bowl and put a little bit of the sauce over the top and some onions and sprinkle it with mozzarella. And we'll be eating this with a side of broccoli. So there you have it. Silly hubby moments and everything. I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you hit that subscribe button down below and check out the playlist of all the other ladies' videos as well. And thanks for watching. Bye.